is very much commendable, honestly. But I want to bring in one thing. I want to tell us about one important thing about Igbo people and Yoruba people and other tribes too. If you look at other tribes, when they are talking about Tinubu, I'll use Yoruba. When they are talking about Tinubu, you can never hear them insult Tinubu or talk anything that will make that man look less human. Yeah, they will criticize him. They will say one or two things about his government, but they will never call him names. They will not even mention his name. They will always talk about. If you listen to Falana, each time he's analyzing anything about Tinubu, he will never call Tinubu's name. He will always say the government, the government, the government. He will not call Tinubu's name. Never. Go and look at it. Same with other people. Same with all the prominent men and women in Yoruba land. You can never hear them say Tinubu is this, Tinubu is that, Tinubu. They will never say such thing. Even when they know that he's the president of Nigeria, but they will always say government, government, government. It's only Igbo people that will come on air to discuss Peter Obi. Only Igbo people. From Omahi to Nwoboshi to Soludo, all of them, when they come on air, it is Peter Obi and another one, Kenneth Okonkwo. Peter Obi this, Peter Obi that. Peter Obi is not in government. He's not the president of Nigeria. You can never hear them. You can never hear Kenneth Okonkwo mention Tinubu this. The way he's talking about Peter Obi, you see the venom coming out of his mouth. You see the anger. And you ask yourself, what did Peter Obi do to this man? Let's just say that Peter Obi is the president of this country. Let's just say that Peter Obi did something wrong. The anger that is coming out of Kenneth Okonkwo is second to none. And you ask yourself, even if Peter Obi killed his parents, the anger is just out of this world. My question is, what did Igbo people do or are doing to themselves? You guys need to check something. There is something wrong within the political arena of Igbo land. Something is not right about Igbo people when it comes to politics. The hatred is top-notch amongst yourselves. You guys hate yourself like the hatred is just too much. I want to tell us a story. Shagari was the president. Alex Ekweme was the vice president. When Buhari took over through coup d'etat, Buhari jailed Alex Ekweme and did not touch Shagari. Shagari was the president of Nigeria, but Buhari jailed Alex Ekweme. He did not touch Shagari. Shagari was a free man, did not go to jail. Why? Because Shagari was a fellow Fulani man. It is very, very unlawful in their own understanding for a Fulani to touch a Fulani. That is why till today you can never hear Atiku Abubakar condemn what Boko Haram is doing, or Lakorawa and ISWAP. Never, he can never condemn it. He can never say anything against terrorism in Nigeria. Atiku would never say such thing. No matter how anybody look at it, Atiku would never condemn it. Never. Because it is anathema. It is considered a taboo for an for a Fulani man to condemn what a fellow Fulani man is doing, even when it's wrong. They would rather keep quiet than to say anything. That's why Atiku is not saying anything about the killings, the terrorism and everything. He will never condemn it. Never. So, but if it were to be Igbo people, they will arrest their fellow Igbo man and make sure that that person rots in jail. And it's very wrong. It's very, very wrong. That is why when the other tribes are taking you guys for granted, nobody is talking. Nnamdi Kanu is rotting in jail. Igbo people are less concerned. It's none of their business. You see the role Yoruba people played when Sunday Igboho was arrested. They even went as far as going outside Nigeria where he was to protect him. Protected him until he was released. As a matter of fact, Obasanjo was at the forefront of the whole thing. They were united in rescuing Sunday Igboho, and he is now a free man. But Igbo people cannot do that about Nnamdi Kanu. Instead, they will make sure that Nnamdi Kanu is not out of prison, because to them, he should be there. He should rot in jail. It's a problem to them. People like Umahi, people like Nwoboshi, and all of them, Soludo. The only politician, I say it here, he's not my friend. Politically, we don't talk. The only politician that can never insult Peter Obi or say anything bad about Peter Obi is Hope Uzodinma. Nobody, no politician in Igbo land, apart from this man, apart from apart from Hope Uzodinma can never insult Peter Obi. He can never say anything bad about Peter Obi. You can hear him. In fact, during 2023 electioneering campaign, he went to Imo State Airport to welcome Peter Obi with his own vehicle, his entourage. He went to Imo Airport to welcome that man, took him to Imo State government house, sought him out, made sure that he's protected, and allowed him to go and do his campaign. Yes, it's on record. It's on internet. It's everywhere. You can check it. And from that time till today, you can never hear Hope Uzodinma mention Peter Obi's name anyhow, call him names or do anything. He can never do that. Politics never reach like that. But each time these political jobbers, each time you hear them, Peter Obi this, Peter Obi that, Peter Obi this, Peter Obi that, Omar even insulted them, saying that the Biafra they were looking for is in Tinubu. So my question is, what do you stand to gain, Kenneth Okonkwo and some Igbo people that are destroying their fellow Igbo man just to score cheap political point? It's not how to play politics, and nobody is going to clap for you for tarnishing the image of your fellow Igbo man. Honestly, if you continue like this, no tribe in Nigeria will take you seriously. And one thing Kenneth Okonkwo doesn't know is that he has destroyed his political career. His political career is dead, because the same thing he's talking about Peter Obi now is what he said about Atiku Abubakar some years back. And I don't know if that guy ever have an archive where he keeps record of what he said, how he said it. Because if he has, let him go back and look at what he said about Atiku. And today you want the same Atiku to give you access to his secrets? You see how he sidelined you and kept you at the reception when the men were coming in to discuss some important issues about ADC. You were kept outside because some secrets are not meant for you to hear. Because everybody knows that if you hear that, You use it against him once upon a time. So Igbo should come together and behave like other tribes. Do not use your brothers and sisters to climb. It will only bring evil, when I mean evil, to your own identity. Nobody will trust you because they believe that that's how you behave. If anybody sees you like somebody who is behaving that way, nobody is going to trust you. Be careful the way you live. You might be the only Bible someone have the opportunity to read. My name is Hyacinth, and this is the Hyacinth Network. Please like and share. Thank you.
You have heard all this man said about the problem in Igbo politics. Yes, everything this man said here, they are all truth. They are all truth. Everything this is a Yoruba man. Everything he said here about the hatred in Igbo land among the political class, they are all truth. There are points I want to bring out here. That very problem within the Igbo politics is divide and rule. It's divide and rule. Before you as an Igbo man will be seen as a nationalist, will be seen in attitude and character as somebody that will support that so-called one Nigeria, you must be a poison to your people. You must attack anybody that has a contrary political view, different from your own. Just as what Kenneth Okonkwo, what Dave Omar has, this man highlighted their names. Just shake all of them. The reason why they're attacking Peter Obi, I know the reason why. Because Peter Obi is not among their political class. Peter Obi is not among their caucus, that they are so-called Eastern politicians. Peter Obi is not in that very clique. That is why they hated him. Both the big men in Anambra State hated him. Peter Obi said it. That is the reason. And they know that when IPOB was proscribed, Peter Obi is only political figure known as a figure, as a former governor or something like that came out and said that they are not terrorists.
Did not warn the youths about what the country went through during the Civil War. The Civil War happened majorly in your area, in the Southeast region. Are you disappointed with some of the events that led to the IPOP situation in Abia State?
Well, I'm not on top of what happened, but I can tell you, and of course I'm not there during the Civil War. I was a small boy during the Civil War, so I can't tell what happened through the Civil War. But I've said it here, Shehu. The agitations you see around Nigeria today is not domiciled only in the Southeast. It is all over the place. People are agitating for one thing or the other. People are clamoring even for destruction of the other. All this agitation is because of what I said earlier, because of a failed situation. When you have cumulative effects of leadership failure, you're now confronted with people who are living in a sense of hopelessness. If you don't know where the next meal will come from, you become an agitator, you become anything.
Do you agree with the manner in which the federal government handled the case of the agitations in Abia State with the IPOP?
Well, you know, like I said, the only thing I disagree with is naming them terrorists.
You don't think they are?
No, they're not.
Their prescription is...
Definitely. No, those who took the decision maybe had information I don't have.
That time, Dave Omar, he was still the governor. And most of these people this man mentioned here was still in office as elected office holders. But Peter Obi said that they are not terrorists. They are not terrorists. That is it. That is the problem we have in Igbo land. And that thing there is that, yes, we are good at calling out ourselves. Like any of us that did something wrong, we do condemn them. We do condemn them. Yes, it is in the blood of every Igbo man. But not when you politicize everything. I like how what he said about Hope was at the map, because Hope Uzodinma did this thing that this man said. Hope went to airport to receive Peter Obi with his own entourage. He did it. But Hope Uzodinma is an APC governor before all these days were mine. Before all these people, Hope Uzodinma has been in APC before most of these people. Before even Soludo. If they tell you that Soludo was in the same class in secondary school with Peter Obi, will you believe? But why did Soludo hate Peter Obi so much? Because of what? Soludo is a boy to most of the big men we have in Anambra State. And with Soludo, Godfatherism has returned in Anambra State, which Ngige and Peter Obi destroyed. And today, as I speak with you, if you see Godfatherism back in Lighthouse in Anambra State, probably the person that brought it in was Soludo. This is what they alleged. Because I don't see anything that that man is doing in Anambra State. He disappointed a lot of people. The only time you see him talk, if you see him talk on TV or with camera or with a mic, if he didn't mention Peter Obi, he has never started. That is the same reason why they wanted to impeach him. Another thing, this man said that that this is the reason why when he made a comment about how Buhari arrested Alex Ekwueme as a vice president instead of starting from the head, who was his kinsman or kinsman, because he's a Fulani man. That is why he didn't arrest him, but they went and arrested Ekwueme. That thing he said there, truth be told, yes, that thing he said there, that is the reason why Atiku Abubakar cannot condemn. And when he said it, I began to think that all this thing that had been happening, I don't see how many times that Atiku Abubakar made a comment. I could remember when he posted something about the killing of Deborah. Immediately his kinsmen attacked him, he deleted it. And this is the same person that is coming out to contest for president. Atiku Abubakar, this is the same person that is coming out to contest, who had never, we don't know his stance about the insecurity in Nigeria. That is another thing. So, the reason why, what made me got interested in what this man is saying is because of he asks a lot of questions that need to be answered. Number one answer there is that, as I said before, you must hate your people as an Igbo man before you will be accepted. Peter Obi had never said anything or do anything wrong, or made some comments that look like what Soludo or David Omaya had been doing. Peter Obi had never done any of this. That is why that man is unique, and that is the same reason why they hated him. The political class in Anambra State and the whole of Igbo land, in fact, basically in Anambra State, the political class in Anambra State hated Peter Obi. Peter Obi is loved by people. Every single Igbo man loves him. But you see those very political idiots, political fools, political jobbers, this man called them, they are the one that hated Peter Obi. Why? Because if Peter Obi succeed in emerging as a president of this country, most of them will go down. And the release of Nnamdi Kanu will bury most of their careers. That is the reason why they don't want Peter Obi to be there. Not that Peter Obi did anything wrong. No. Peter Obi did not do anything wrong. But because of what? His presidency will destroy them. Obi presidency will destroy them. They know that. Obi presidency will destroy all the criminalities we have in Igbo land. Political jobbers from all these Okado them. That is why they are not in support of Peter Obi. That is why they hated him. Not that Peter Obi did anything wrong. No. So, I like what this man said. As a Yoruba man, he was very educated and very analytical. He just said everything he knew from his own observations, and everything he said is true. His questions are real. If you look at it very well, what is wrong with Igbo politics? there is something very wrong. The same people that are not in support of Peter Obi are the same people that doesn't want Nnamdi Kanu to be released. And these are the people we know in Igbo land that is our problem. Unlike the time of Uchechukwu Merijeden, unlike the time of call them the old senators we have from the east. Yeah? Those people have regard, have respect for their region. But look at all these ones. They are only there for their own pockets. They don't care about what happened to you people. I don't know what you might think. Just drop your own opinion in the comment section. Don't forget to share the video and also subscribe for more. Thank you for watching.